Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. All right, y'all, it's the final part of the Always Money series. Always money in the food industry. Now, I know this week it would seem like some simple things, but I'm going to tell you what. In general, before I really talk about food, that's really what makes the money. No matter what. I don't care. You could say recession. People buying food, only complaints they have is how much the food is costing, and people still go to restaurants. Yeah, there are restaurants and franchises that go out of business all the time, but it just gets replaced. In my local neighborhood, there was I ain't gonna call the name of the company, but they went out of business at a particular location. And the building was sitting empty for a couple years. The building was sitting empty for a couple years. There's a new place there. Me and my sons just went there because, they connoisseur, especially the oldest is connoisseurs of food. I'm going to talk to him about being a food critic. But we went to the new space there. Like people, that's always going to sell. Like restaurants and especially stuff like that, but it comes down to food. Grocery stores. Grocery stores are major businesses. Grocery stores are major businesses. Not to get into a political discussion, but I'm just using this as a great example. The situation in Florida with the Florida governor and Disney. A lot of people saying, hey, that's the employer, is bringing so much money, is affecting the economy so much. But some people mistakenly say it's the number one employer. No, it's a grocery store chain that's the number one employer in Florida. It's bringing the most jobs. In any neighborhood, a grocery store, because people got to get food. In fact, that's one of the best businesses. When I've talked specifically about black-owned businesses. And there's always talk about money circulating, and I say it specifically, and I will stand on this. A lot of these black neighborhoods, you're going to get money circulating automatically with black-owned grocery stores. And you got a few getting started, nothing major yet. And definitely not up there with the big boys, and probably never will. But it makes money, food, because people getting food. All you have to do, the food just need to be good. Whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a grocery store. Now, grocery store, I don't have personal knowledge of how to really get that started. And it takes a lot with that. It takes a lot. You probably got to have a lot of licenses. You're dealing with food. You got to have a lot of equipment. That does take a lot of money. But I've known some people who started restaurants easily. I always talk about that guy. And I can't find him. I've been looking him up. I can't find anything for him. But I always talk about that guy who had the buffalo wings places, multiple places. I remember before he got the first one, you know what he did? He would make buffalo wings and just go around to different barbershops in the PG County. He would just take them because, you got people sitting there all day. Shoot, you just bringing some food in. People going to eat it. See, people are going to eat. They got to eat. I remember a young lady who she had owned a couple of vegan restaurants in the Baltimore area. Some people might know, if you're from the Baltimore area, you might even know who she is. But I'm funny about calling people's name. If you get in the comments and say, was it that place? I'll just say yay and nay. Actually, I've met a few, more than a few vegan restaurant owners. And people say, oh, that vegan. It's like people eating it. In fact, there's a place that's growing, Slutty Vegan, I can call them, they public. That's becoming like a chain. It's growing fast because people eating it. See, the thing with food is basic because people have to eat it. And most people going to at least eat, everybody's going to eat, they're going to eat something all day. Unless they on some aesthetic or some diet or something. And even then, when they break that diet, they break the fast. See how that works? They break that fast. Well, they're going to eat something. People are always going to eat. As long as they eat, if you're in a business that provides the food, you're going to make money. If you create the food, you cook the food, whatever. Farmers, that's part of the food industry. I've known of you got some urban farmers out there making money. You got some farmers making money. I know of one guy that was at one of my gyms. he makes his money. Him and his wife have a farm. They have a farm. And I remember, I didn't realize he had a farm until I saw him at a farmer's market and I got some food from him. And he even had meats and everything. Because people are always going to eat. There's always money. Now, you don't have to grow the food, but there's so many different levels. And it's like the other businesses. You can start everything from the farm, the source of it, food factories to do something with the food. You know, you got the logistics to get food from point A to point B. So that's bringing in trucking, delivery services. Shoot, you could have a business just delivering farm produce. You could hit a bunch of like small farmers up and say, hey, we'll get this out to a bigger place. Or even maybe strike a deal with them, give them money, and then take that same food and go to different farmers markets. You do it for them. You know, shoot, you can organize a farmer's market. It's so much. It's just based around food. Oh, shoot. And I just thought about, like in my area, they have a barbecue festival every year. Shoot, food. I mean, it's so many things just based on food, just based on eating. I mean, now food is a major part of any culture. That's how deep it is. Food is a major part of any culture. There's always money to be made there. You just have to find what it is you want to do in it. I mean, you don't have to be a cook or anything. You could just be the one say you want to sell it. You start a place, or you could say, hey, you can, I know, of course, they got people at farmers markets making stuff. I know when I go out to San Diego in August, there's some place up, there's a place on Sunday, I forgot, I think it's Hillcrest. They always have a market. They be having some good food. When I go out there, it's like, I gotta go there. I gotta get me some food. So that's the thing. But there's always money in it because once again, it comes down to the basics. Like I said, with the beauty industry, women always want to look beautiful, and increasingly men are getting into that. Fashion, you always have to wear clothes. Food, people always have to eat. When you're thinking about a business, the best businesses to think about is something that people always need, no matter what. No matter what. I don't care. You know what, the government, they can talk about different programs and debt ceilings and all of that. And by the time this come out, I don't know what that debt ceiling thing will be, but people still going to eat. People still going to eat. If you have you just need the ability to get the food or grow the food, whatever. And speaking of growing food, the earth hasn't forgotten. I don't care what political system you're in or what the economy is. The earth hasn't forgotten how to grow food. If you can grow food, you can sell it. You can make money. So that's something to think about, all right? So y'all know the deal. Always money. And there's more industries I could probably put, but y'all can look it up yourself. Just think about basics, everything, basics. I meant during the beauty episode, I had mentioned about hair. Now people might say, oh, that's nothing. It's like, the beauty of hair is you always have to deal with it, and it grows back. It grows back. Even somebody who can't grow hair, you know, they need tools and stuff to keep it cut. Even if they don't go to a barber, you got companies that make clippers. It's always money. So always think about whatever business, just think about it's really based on a person's needs. So like I said, I gave 3 this week, but there's many more. If you sit back and think about it and then think about something that you might be good at, you can make some money. So y'all know the deal. Y'all have a good weekend till I talk to you on Sunday. Let's go make that money.